Hello everybody and welcome back to the E3 coverage. It is currently 1:30 in the morning. We are just waiting for Bethesda's conference to start, so I don't know how many more of Xboxes I'm going to do today because I want to record the Bethesda conference, the footage, and then get like the initial thoughts of Bethesda out of the way, and then tomorrow before Stoney starts I'll just have a big cram-packed day of stuff because again Microsoft made 42 games, so I don't actually know how many of those 42 I'm going to show because some of them were just like indie trailers and there was about 20 indie trailers, and we're not really going to show all 20 indie trailers because some are already out on Steam, so that little section doesn't matter too much, so I'll probably just focus on the big ones. But we have got the biggest thing of all to cover for probably the next half an hour, which is the Xbox One X, the stupidest name published by Microsoft for the Xbox One X, because that's the name of Scorpio. Project Scorpio is the Xbox One X. Now, it is not a upgraded console, despite what Phil Spencer said last year about wanting to move forward in big numbers rather than just having a PlayStation 4 Pro. It is a liar. The Xbox One X is little more than an Xbox One Pro. They just wanted to change the name, so thanks for lying, Phil Spencer. And all it is an updated Xbox One with better hardware in it and better computing power in it. I mean, I guess like none of this matters because there's no graphics or pre-rendering to show because it is just the hardware of the system. Now, I have got the Camtasia open with the editor for the hardware of the system, which this guy can speak to us, although I am not going to let him speak. So as we can see, it has got 6 teraflop GPU clocked at 1.127 gigahertz, 12 gigabytes of GDOS memory, and 326 gigabytes a second memory of bandwidth. Now, these are impressive numbers. By the way, I didn't know what a teraflop was, so we did look it up, and apparently it's basically like how much your graphics card can put out in terms of pixelizing each pixel per second. It's a long, complicated story, but I just give you the basics on Polygon, and these are all the basics that a PlayStation 4 can put out 1.8 teraflops, and the PlayStation 4 Neo could put out 4 teraflops, and then the Xbox One Scorpio can put out 6. Now, it says here that the fastest video card around is the Nvidia GTX 1080, which does 8.9 teraflops just for comparison. I myself do have one of those in my PC, so this really shows just how bad the Xbox One X is. Now you might be saying, well, hold on a minute, Spyro, you've got I've got two because I've got a 1080 and a 970 in there just to make sure that I've definitely got the graphical power to run any game at a super stable frame rate and a super stable rendering power in case anybody's like, your computer's not strong enough. Oh, trust me, it is. But yeah, so I've got a 1080 and a 970, and while you might be saying, well, you got a 1080, you've got the best one, which does 9, it's 8.9, but let's call it 9. You've got 9 in there, and this is doing 6. That's only 3 away from the maximum. And that's great that it's 6 away or 3 away from the maximum, but it highlights the biggest problem with this entire system, which we'll come to as we go through each one of its points, that everything that I can see is under my PC, and considering its price point, it's just a shit PC. Like, going back to the 326 gigabytes of memory bandwidth a second, that is again a very impressive system. It's a very impressive number for a home console to be pulling out, and I completely agree with Phil Spencer and the guy on stage. This is the world's most powerful gaming console, the world's most powerful home console aside from a PC. But in adding all this power, in adding all of this memory, they've brung it so close to a PC that you might as well just buy a PC for a little bit extra. So like the 326 gigabytes of bandwidth a second again, a very impressive number. Mine can pull 500 a second roughly. You know, sometimes it's a little bit lower, sometimes it's a little bit higher, but roughly mine can pull 500 a second, which is, you know, about 170 more than this. So again, that's not that much. From 6 teraflops to 9 in my PC, from 320, call it 330 to 500 in my PC, that is pretty damn close. And 12 gigabytes of memory, I think I've got 32 gigabytes of memory in mine, because I know I've got 12 gigabytes of RAM. I think I've got 12 gigabytes of RAM and 32 memory, but I'd have to check that. But I know I have got like a 8 core in there. But regardless, you know, these are impressive numbers. 12 gigabytes of RAM, that's like someone's basic PC. And then he's saying like, oh, you've got over 8 million pixels, and it'll scale your games up to your, if you haven't got a 4K monitor or 4K TV, which most people don't, a 4K device is quite expensive. I do personally have a 4K monitor, but if you don't have a 4K monitor or a 4K TV and you've only got a 1080, then it'll scale the 4K games into 1080 resolution to make any 1080 games look even better. So it's like pretty good. And then obviously got HDR, everybody's got a HDR. Wide colour gamut, that's obviously to be expected in modern systems. Premium Adobe Atmos sound, good sound card. That is a pretty damn good sound card. And then 4K UHD Blu-ray playback. Again, a Blu-ray player. Very impressive stuff. It is all extremely impressive. And then someone say it looks like a VCR, which I absolutely just, I had to favourite that because it does. Like, look at this. It's a great big black box with a Blu-ray player in it and then the bit to store your games. And if we just scroll to where they first show the box off when we're looking at it, look at how thick that is. That's a VCR player. But going back to just this bit, so we've got something to look at here. It's all very impressive technology and it's fantastic technology, but the price point is $499 US, $500, which makes it the most expensive console on the market. And for what is being offered in that system for $500, you might as well just spend the extra $100 on a decent PC. Like $600 will get you a pretty medium to top end PC for all of you casual people. Like reviewers like myself, Total Biscuit, Jim Sterling, we need a powerful computer. We need to make sure that our specs are top keck so that, you know, we don't have any kind of, oh, your computer just can't handle it. No, our computers can. But for everybody else out there, like all of you that are just casually watching this, all of you that are just casually into PC games that might want a little bit of a medium to high end, like, oh, I want a decent graphics card, I want a decent processor, but I don't need that much because I'm only going to be playing Paladins or Overwatch or, you know, something like that. Just a team-based shooter that I can play with my friends. I may at most stretch to I don't know, Shadow of Mordor, which might have a little bit of bigger graphical requirements. That's pretty much casual. Like, you're not going to need ridiculous graphics cards for that. You're not going to need ridiculous processors for that. So in terms of all of you watching, if you had $500, you might as well wait 2 weeks and just save up another $100 and get a decent gaming PC. You can buy a decent gaming PC for $600, maybe $650, but that's pretty much your price range. And that $650 gaming PC will trounce all over this Xbox One X. And that's its biggest failure, and that's where it's going to come down to its biggest problem, because people are obviously already criticizing the price point like, oh, it's so dear, it's so dear. Well, yeah, it is dear because also it has if we just go back to all the stuff that he was saying was inside it, it's also got a liquid cooling system. If we just spin on for a second, he says about all of the craftsmanship, and here we go, there's the most advanced console processor ever. Again, it is the most advanced processor ever. Liquid cooled vapor chamber. Most gaming PCs, like mine does have one, has a liquid cooling system. So you're adding another PC part, so that's bumping up the price of the Xbox One X. It's just all of these PC components that are bumping up the Xbox One X, and you've added so many PC components to knock up this price that by the time the console comes out for $500, most people will just buy a PC for $600, $650, which will destroy these specs. Some cheaper PCs might level it, but just remember with a PC, you can always upgrade it. So if you get, let's just say you spent the same amount on a $500 PC, you'd probably for $500 get maybe a little bit more than what the Xbox One is offering. Like, it might be roughly the same. I'd say the price evaluation, just to discredit all these people that are saying the price is bullshit, the price is not actually bullshit. The price is pretty much on point for the hardware within the console. That is, for what he's offering, that is probably what you'd get for about a $500 PC. So if you were just to say you spent the same money on a $500 PC, remember the Xbox One X, that's permanent. You can't change anything. Whatever you get in that box is locked in place. But if you spend $500 on a PC, then later down the line you come into a bit of money, you might open it up, take out the graphics card for a better graphics card, and that old graphics card, you can sell it on and get some of your money back. You might want a better processor. You take the old processor out, put the new one in, you can sell the old one on, make a bit of money back. So with a PC, you can always change what you like. You can always upgrade it to be a lot better. It'll never be old. Like, you'll never have to upgrade from an Xbox One to an Xbox One S. It'll always be as up to date as you need it to be. Whereas this thing, it's $500 like a PC, but it doesn't have that luxury of being able to upgrade. You would just have to buy the Xbox 2X when the next upgrade is ready, which would just be another $500 altogether. So it's become such a good console. I mean, I try and say that. It's become such a good console in terms of power, in terms of the hardware in it, that it's now just a really shit PC. And when they're asking $500 for this, yeah, $500 is a really reasonable price. That's about the price you would pay for the hardware in it. But then people would just say, why not just save an extra $100, $150 and get yourself a $650 PC that would just absolutely kick the shit out of the Xbox One? So it's just like, yeah, it's good, it's got the hardware in there, but you've made it so much like a PC that it's just a shit PC. And you've made it so much like a PC that you might as well just buy a PC. So that's it. Its greatest strength is its biggest failure. So, you know, the final verdict, while we can't knock it on the technology, it's a 3 out of 5. It's average. Only the most hardcore Xbox fans are going to buy this. Only the most hardcore people that have got money to burn will buy this. Everybody else will just either not buy it because it's too high of a price, or realise that it's just a bad PC and save up a little bit of extra cash to just buy a good PC that would kick the shit out of this thing. So, the Xbox One, it's not good, it's not bad, it is just a meh thing, because it's it's in this weird state where it's now too good to be a home console like the Switch, but it's too bad to be a PC. So it's just going to be stuck in limbo, especially with that really high price point that a lot of people won't be willing to pay. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Xbox One. So it's now coming up to 1:45, so we've got about an hour before the Bethesda conference. I might try and squeeze one more of these in before the Bethesda conference comes out, but remember, I've got to edit and upload this video, so by the time I do that, it might be 2:30. So we might try and squeeze a quick one in. Like, I'll just do Forza, but it's just a racing game. There's not that much to say about it, so we'll probably try and squeeze in Forza, but beyond that, I will be seeing you like at 5 AM my time for my initial thoughts of the Bethesda conference. Then I'll be going to bed, and all the Microsoft and Bethesda content will come out when I wake up. But for now, do please feel free to share. What do you think of the Xbox One X? That is just a real... Well, first of all, what do you think of the name? I think it's stupid. It's just like how the Wii U, you know, it's like, oh, well, we've got the Wii, let's add one extra letter to it so it's no longer the Wii, it's the Wii U. Oh, we've got the Xbox One, but let's not stop there. Let's add one extra letter so it's the Xbox One X, rather than just calling it the Xbox Scorpio, which would have been far, far better naming, but whatever. So yeah, do tell me what you think of the name first and foremost, and do tell me what your thoughts on the Xbox... I'm going to just call it Scorpio. Tell me what your thoughts on the Xbox Scorpio is. Do you agree that it's a bad PC? If you're an Xbox fan, are you still going to be buying it? Do you still see a reason to buy it? Is the price point too high? Let me know your thoughts on the Xbox Scorpio down below, and if it has enticed you to join Phil Spencer's gang, or if it hasn't, whichever you prefer. But for now, that is the end of the video. So if you did indeed enjoy this video, do feel free to leave a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you don't want to miss any of the other E3 footage that we've got coming up, because we will be covering all of E3 across the next couple of days, do please feel free to hit that subscribe button and bing the bell so the notifications do get to you. And there is also links to my Discord, or my Discord to just come in and chat and see what everybody else is thinking of E3, as well as links to my Twitter and Deviant, so that you can see what I'm posting live at the time. Like when it comes to 3 hours, be sure to be following my Twitter, because I will be giving my live reactions as the stream is going on. And there is also a link to my Patreon if you'd like to go an extra mile, but you don't have to. So for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which may be Forza, just a quick squeeze in, but if we don't have time, it will be the first initial thoughts of the Bethesda conference. So see all of you then.